You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Hello and welcome to Taiwan Grooves. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, I am joined by Tanner Williams from the Co-Pilots. The Co-Pilots is an independent rock project based in Taipei, originally from Florida. The band has undergone numerous transformations both in their lineup and their sound. To date, the band has released 4 albums, each showcasing a distinct style within the discography. And just as usual, the first episode will include some of the basic background information of the band, and later we'll move on to how their sound has changed over time and the reasons why, and how big of a difference it is to entertain a crowd in a closed venue as opposed to an open space or a festival. And with nothing more to add, let's welcome Tanner Williams from the Co-Pilots. Tanner, thank you so much for making it. It's overdue, sorry that it took forever. I'm happy that you have made it. Would you like to say hi to the listeners?
Thanks, Phil. It's awesome to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm Tanner Williams from the Co-Pilots.
Excellent. Co-Pilots. Now, I would like to know anything about the band. How many members does it consist of? And where does the name come from?
Well, right now, it consists of 5 people, myself included. And the name, I actually didn't name the band, but I was playing in my first band in high school, and then it's really lame. The person next to me was like, if I had a band, I would name it the Co-Pilots. And out of lack of ideas, I just went with that and never thought of a better name. And I never thought that it worked necessarily. So the band is basically, I've carried it through high school, through all the people that I've worked with and collaborated with. I carried it with me to Taiwan and found new people. And I like to think of it as the Co-Pilots are like all the different people that have come in and helped me, with me included. So that's the cop-out
yeah, that's great.
Answer.
That's great. See, you say lame. I feel like there's story to it, and that makes it interesting. Has the friend ever been part of the band?
Oh, that friend? Oh, no. No, they weren't. Actually, I don't think we were friends. We were just more like acquaintances.
Acquaintances. I hope he didn't like come after you too.
No.
Like, oh, you stole my name.
I don't know if he knows, but I don't think he's a musician, so it's okay.
It's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
Co-Pilots. I just finished watching Nathan Rehearsal, if you ever heard of that.
The Rehearsal. Oh, I've been wanting to watch that. Yeah, Nathan Fielder.
Right, and it's about pilots and co-pilots. So I was like,
wait,
is there a connection?
They got I've only read headlines. He's getting sued or something because
I didn't know.
I don't know. Okay.
I didn't know that. It's possible. All right, so we got 5 members in the band. You have just recently swapped members or found new member?
Yeah, so in Taiwan there's been 3 versions of the band so far. One that existed from 2021 to 2022, another one that was in 2023, and this one we took a break last year, and then this one is like the new 2025 version, and they've all kind of had different lineups. But after our break from last year, when we wanted to start playing shows again, we found a new drummer, and our old drummer Ray, he now plays guitar because he's a multi-instrumentalist. And we found Josh because one of our members, Gan, he already knew Josh, and Josh is the bass player, and they've been wanting to do something together for quite some time. So yeah, now we're a new 5-piece. I like it with 5 people. It feels complete. I can do a 4-piece, but I always have preferred working as a 5-piece.
Oh, I definitely support that. I'm always the more the merrier. Just scheduling the times and practice and rehearsal and everything might be a problem, but with sound-wise, it's
the best.
It's the best. Now, you said that you had and carried the band ever since high school or after high school?
Since high school.
Oh, so it's been a while.
So it's been a while. I've been making music as the Co-Pilots since I was 16.
Wow.
But to call it just a band, like it's the same version that's existed since then, it would be disingenuous, because I found actually the first album that I made when I was 17, and then I didn't release it as the Co-Pilots. It was just under my name. And then when I made the second album, I was playing with a group of guys, and we didn't really have a name before our first show, and that was around the same time the album was going to come out. And none of them were on the album, but we were playing the same songs. And I was like, well, do I release the album as my name again? But that means I'd have to call the band like the Tanner Williams Band or something. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't have enough ego. So I decided to, okay, we'll just be the Co-Pilots. And then the album will be the Co-Pilots. And then I retroactively renamed the first album the Co-Pilots. And then since then, it's just been every album that I've made, no matter who I've made it with or who I've collaborated with, it's always been the Co-Pilots. So that's how it's carried on.
Impressive. It's been some years now. Like you have been making... All right, so if you've been making music since 16, 17, like writing and all that, that means you must have been playing... Okay, for our listeners, you play guitar and piano and you sing.
Yes.
Now...
And some bass too.
Some bass too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, which instrument did you start with and around what age?
I started with guitar around 13, 14. But I started writing songs, like my first real songs, around 16, just before I had the first version of the Co-Pilots going. Then I was always playing guitar, and I found someone in college as I wanted to expand like the music stylistically a bit more. I was playing with synths and was getting into electronics and that sort of stuff, but I couldn't play keyboards. So then I found someone who could help translate my ideas in college. My friend Ricky, I was playing a lot with on the third album. He played keyboards, and I worked a lot with him, and he's a great keyboardist. But then when I moved to Taiwan, I didn't have Ricky to rely on anymore, so I was like, oh shoot, well I better start learning some piano because I have to do it on my own now.
You gotta be your own Ricky.
Yeah, I gotta be my own Ricky. And so I started taking some lessons when I came to Taiwan just to learn the foundations. And then I kind of sat like that for about a year. I didn't progress. I wasn't really practicing because my piano teacher moved back to England. So then I just stopped. But then when I started the first version of the Taiwan Co-Pilots, I was looking for someone to play keyboards, but nobody in the band played keyboards. So I was
self-sufficient.
I was forced to take that role up myself. And the first Co-Pilot show in Taiwan, that was the first time I had ever played keyboards in front of an audience.
Wow.
So I was really nervous, and
yeah.
I've grown more into that role now. Although I still prefer playing guitar live on stage. It just looks cooler.
Okay, wow, that's...
But because no one else can do it, I'll do keyboard. That's my sacrifice.
It works. It definitely works, yeah. Wow, I'm impressed. You have been making and playing music. Your album, the first songs on the album that you released, has been longer than I have touched an instrument. So that's how impressive it is, because 13 years old to start just to pick up an instrument, and then kind of like 3 years just to get some theory down and make your own songs and album. That's great.
Oh, thanks.
That's really good.
I had friends and help with it.
Right, but still, it's ever since, and you've been
I wouldn't
sticking
say
with it.
I know that much theory, but
But then again, making a good sounding song does not require to know jazz theory and all that. So
that's true.
Still.
I did start to learn more theory, definitely more than I used to know. Starting on the last album, the one that came out in Taiwan called Pacific Echo.
Right.
Because I was working with a lot more harmony, and I wanted to layer my vocals and do a lot more, and just working with a lot more harmony between instruments and vocals. And
did piano help with that a lot?
Yeah, it did help with that. Yeah, actually, I did start learning some theory because my piano teacher made me. And then when I was working more with harmony, I'd find out that some things clashed. And I had to really think about the scales, methodically, which would work the best. What are my options here? But I wouldn't say I'm like a theory. I'm still a theory noob. But one of the guys in the band, he's really amazing at that. And before, when I worked with Axel, who was another guitar player in the band, they were really good at that. So they can kind of help me when I have questions.
Right. You bring the basics on the table, and they're depict and upgraded.
They definitely gave a lot of help.
Yeah. If you were to characterize, or if it's possible to label somehow what kind of music you create, could you just couple keywords maybe?
Yeah,
throw in?
sure. I think it's definitely indie at its, or alternative rock at its core. But every album has kind of had a different sonic identity. And I think that's kind of my main goal with the Co-Pilots, is to make a bunch of albums, make them like good albums that I can be proud of and listen to for the rest of my life. And for each one to have a different kind of sonic identity, for each step to be a different evolution. I mean, that sounds kind of pretentious, but like my favorite artists, like they always, evolved throughout their career. Like when you listen to like the Beatles or David Bowie or, Radiohead's like early work compared to their later stuff.
It's always part of the process. That's why I like to ask it from people, like if the sound that you made evolved somehow over time, which naturally even if you try to stick to the same thing, it doesn't always work. Like you will somehow, because of rotating members, or like you went through some experience, or you learned some new theory and you're like, oh, I can do different chords and all that. So the sound is hard to do the same sound all over.
No, yeah, and I wouldn't want to do the same sound all over. I think there's a few bands that can pull that off, but most of the time it can get stale.
So if you were to just like look back and compare your... Wait, so the recent album was 2022?
Yeah, that was the last one.
And then there was a single 2023.
Yeah, and I'm working on a new one now.
Yeah.
But I don't know when it's going to be out.
This year, probably.
Maybe.
Okay, but
maybe next
fingers
year.
Crossed. So now, if you were to take 2022 and let's say somewhere, I don't know, a couple of years ago, do you like, just when listening to it, do you get like a little, what do you call it, realization like, oh, this album is this, and I jumped all the way to here? Just like...
Like when, like how much do I plan it, or...
No, like that it happened. Or no, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Like, were you consciously doing that? Like, now I'm going to try to introduce these elements and be more this?
It's a bit of... It's consciously and unconscious at the same time. I mean, I think you can control it to a certain extent. Like, I always had a vision or a goal of like what I wanted, especially for the last two, and this one that I'm working on now too. It's like, I definitely had an early, like, things that I was inspired by, like listening to them. Like, I want to make albums that sounds like these three albums, like mixed together or whatever. But then the end result ended up not being exactly that. But maybe you could still hear the influences. But that, that's okay if it doesn't sound what you originally intended, as long as you're happy with the end result.
Yeah.
I planned for it a bit, but I always didn't get exactly what I initially planned for. But I've always been happy with the end result.
That's very good. That's so good. Once that settles in and you're like, I am proud and happy with what I made, the rest is irrelevant in my opinion. Like, it's just...
I guess I should say I was always happy with it at the time that I released it. I mean, there's been, and I'm still mostly proud of the work that's out. Although there's some things that I can obviously go and listen back to it. I'm like, oof, I would change that now. But
is that the one from when you were very young?
Oh yeah, I say all of that excluding the first album is a bit of an exception, because that one I made when I was 17, and out of all the albums, that took the shortest time to record. Like the other ones took years, and that one I recorded it over a period of just like one summer. But yes, that one I give a bit of grace to, because I was so young. So some of the songs are kind of cringy, but there are also some songs, like half the songs, that I still am proud of, and like, so that's why I haven't taken it off.
A factor, for sure.
That's why I haven't taken it down off of Spotify. I've considered it a lot, so many times. They've been like, some of those songs are really
leave it. True fans need to know.
Really, embarrassing. But then there's half of them that I like. So
don't, because any artist that you pick, and they have some gems that kind of like came when they were 16, 17. When I listened to, I don't know, for example, Mac Miller, like his first album or something, it just sounds kind of like,
from a fan's perspective,
when you were 16, that's insane.
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, like, not that I have a lot of fans, but if I was a fan, it'd be cool to go back and see the early work. So that's why I leave it up.
Right. Very good. I would like some story time. You have performed with the band recently, last month, 2 months ago, at Kenting Festival?
Yeah, last month. Our last show was about a month ago.
How was that?
It was amazing.
That was the first time performing with the 5-piece.
That was our third time. But our first time at a festival, and our first time outside of Taipei. So Yeah, it was kind of like being on tour. If the tour was only one stop, but we drove from Taipei to Kenting, and then
so starts with a cheerful road trip.
Yeah, and
did you play like the first day, second day?
Second day. So we got there on Saturday, and then we played on Sunday. And
so you still got to enjoy the other acts?
Yeah, we got to enjoy the other acts,
Mm.
and I didn't know how many people were gonna come, because at a festival, no one knows us that lives there. Most of the people that come to our shows are living in Taipei, but there was a decent amount, maybe 50, people. And it was really hot. It was so hot. So I was also thinking
that was like May.
It was May. It was like the first real weekend of summer, and I thought we might pass out on stage, and our some of our gear was frying.
The knobs melt in your hand.
But they brought out some like tents and put it over us. So. Yeah, it was great. I hope to do more festivals.
Yeah, also this is the first step. Like, this is the beginning of festival chapter.
Yeah.
Was there any fan that somebody who you met, came across, and they're like, "Hey, I like your music," or like they just discovered you and you kind of had like a nice chat? Yeah,
there was a few people that came up to us after the show. There's this one guy that was filming the whole thing, and he put it up on YouTube. He liked. I hope he liked the performance. Overall, it was a good reception. That was my first time noticing that like some of the crowd work that you can do at small shows doesn't necessarily work on like a big stage with a big field. Like if I was telling this like one joke or something in a small room, then people might laugh, and then that energy could be infectious. But then on a big stage, it just fell flat. So like everyone was just looking at me and hot.
Wait, was it because they're like, did they not get the thing, or were they just all in their own headspace? And because in a small show, everybody's kind of like, oh, I'm here to see you, so I'm like connected. Whatever you say, I'm here.
Maybe it was just awkward because it wasn't a packed room. It was like 50 people in a very big field. So
but overall
great experience. I was prepared for nobody to be there.
What time did you guys play?
We were the first ones on that day, so that's why I was prepared for no one to be there, with it being super hot and on a Sunday. But
what's the first act like? Around what time?
Oh, we played I think 2:30.
2:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I told you the festival before I went to, it's because there was typhoon the day before. Also, like they kind of canceled like the Friday, so some acts from Friday got moved to Saturday. So Saturday, the first act was at 9 or like 9:30
in the morning.
Yes,
Whoa.
which as a festival goer you never see. Like that'd
be pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I've never experienced that.
And it was packed because they put the headliner from Friday to Saturday morning.
The headliner was playing at 9.
Oh, like sorry, the main person from Friday. They put to 9 o'clock, so they would like attract everybody, and then everybody just stuck around.
And then everyone stayed out.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of an interesting strategy.
It is interesting strategy, but when I'm used to like festivals start at like 2:30, let's say, maybe 3 or something. Like you have some activities, some stand-up comedy or some ping pong table or something, and then the festival goes to like 4 a.m. But here it was strictly like it started at 9, 10 p.m. lights out, everybody out. So I was like, it's different, but I liked it because then you wake up, you're fresh, and you're like, we continue.
If you start at 9 in the morning, you're probably ready to go home by 10. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had enough.
And you saw the Flaming Lips.
Yep.
How were they?
Very interesting. I have never seen. I never heard of their music before.
Oh, okay.
And he was very loving towards everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I love, like he said 15 times, I love everybody. Like to your person next to you, like be very kind and gentle. So I was like,
they're one of my favorite bands. Or I haven't listened to them in a while, but I was listening to them a lot in high school and college. And I've seen them twice. The first time that I saw them, they played a whole set that was like dedicated to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. So they played the whole album. They did some of their stuff first, and then they played the whole Dark Side of the Moon album.
Oh.
And during the song Money, they had these giant balloons full of actual real like American cash. Like there was like $5,000 separated in between like 6-7 balloons, and they pushed it out into the audience And I remember me and my friend, we grabbed our car keys and we're like stabbing at the balloon, and we got like $20, and we paid for gas on the way home with it. But it's kind of crazy releasing like $5,000 amongst a huge crowd. You'd think there might be.
I mean, no offense
riots.
to the Western world, but I would be like, that ball is never making it back.
Yeah.
It would just come empty, deflated, and that's it. Very interesting. So it's their kind of signature move to use a lot of props.
Yeah, they're very theatrical on stage.
Yes, very visual. Yeah, very. So that covers recent performance. Now, if I were to ask you about, let's say, one of or a favorite performance that stands out among the many that kind of like you still cherish and it just pops up right away, could you describe that one?
I've done or that I've seen?
That you've done.
I've done. I mean, I don't think it was our best performance, but in terms of like my favorite and the energy, I mean, the album release show that we did for Pacific Echo was amazing because it was a Thursday night and it was a packed house, and I was annoying everybody like before. I was talking to people that I hadn't talked to in 3 years, being like, "Hey, my album's coming out. Like, if you wanna like support, come to the show." And then lots of people came, and it was just clear that they were all there to support. And we played an extra long set, which we usually don't. We played like 14 songs or something. We usually do like 8 or 9, and it was just the energy there was just completely different because we weren't fighting to win the audience over. The audience was already with us from the beginning, and they were there for just to support the whole show, and
right.
It was just lots of love. And I don't think it was our best performance in terms of what we've played, but my favorite performance in terms of energy. I think that was one of the best nights of my life because it just felt like such a release.
Very good
to have worked on that album and just to celebrate it like that.
Yeah, definitely. Because even somebody who came through and he was talking about like the magical night that all the people, like a lot of people that just meet in the same room. Because nowadays everybody's so busy and all that. So it might happen during some big event, some wedding or something. But now you have this release and there's like a lot of friends that you haven't seen in a while and they're just in the same room. Yeah. And you're having fun together. This is why I make music.
Yeah. That's why I've said I like birthday parties. Like, I don't like my birthday party as like, oh, it's like a way to make it all about me. But I like having a birthday party as like, oh, this is a good excuse to get all the people I love in the same room.
Correct.
So it felt like that.
I'm with you on that. Now, you mentioned that you weren't trying to win over the audience. I just started to be curious, like when people play a concert where the audience goes specifically to see you, so they purchase ticket, right? Now, is it different performing in front of this audience than, let's say, like a show where you're, for example, at a festival and there's just bygoers and you kind of want to grab their attention more? Do you do something differently? Just curious.
I wouldn't say that I do anything differently because I think I try and give it my all every show, but the energy is definitely different because the level of crowd engagement is not the same as like when I'm playing to a room of people that already are familiar with the music versus people that you're just trying to win over. And especially because the festival was a public festival, so literally anybody could come. So it was like grandpas, little kids, so I was just happy that anybody came and people seemed to enjoy it. But yeah, the energy's definitely different. And I think I prefer playing in the small enclosed spaces versus wide open festival. I mean, I've only done that once and a couple other times where I played open in public, but I would still be totally happy to play at more festivals, and I want that. But I think the energy is definitely different. And as a fan too, I think I prefer going to an artist's singular performance at a venue rather than like going to a festival. I feel like a festival is like the best bang for your buck kind of package as a music fan, but I think the performances are generally better
100%
at their
it's also the time control, everything, like the way they interact. It's more like we're here to play just for the festival and leave, and when it's show, like we're here for you guys. There's definitely a difference for sure. It's a good point. So hopefully the big shows, open spaces, will get you more people in the closed space one. That's
the good way of thinking about it. Yeah, that's what I've thought. Yeah.
And that's it for today. I appreciate you guys listening. joining next week for more information about the Co-Pilots. And before we leave, here's one for the road called 1 Mile Away from the album Pacific Echo.